Is it true that the Israel took Donald Trump to war? Is it true that it is the Israel that causes the war between US and the Iran? What do you have to say? In fact, you are going to learn a lot as you watch this video. Let's watch.
It's a very interesting and combative interview yesterday between Ro Khanna and Maria Bartiromo over on Fox News about whether or not Trump is making decisions for the U.S. or for Israel. Let's take a listen.
All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what? I resent the fact that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
Well, the American president should call the shots in this country, but you and your colleagues are trying to clip his wings right now with this war powers vote. I agree. The president is in charge. But look, a lot of the things that you just said are just not true, Congressman. I mean, look, we have to look at this realistically. And President Obama sent money to the Iranians. And what did they do? They resumed their buildup of enrichment.
That's not true.
Yeah,
Not true.
What's not true? What's not true? What specifically about that sentence is not true?
There was a deal that we reached to get 97% of the enriched uranium out. In the process of that, Iran had certain assets that were Iranian assets, wasn't our money, that was unfrozen. And that was a deal that China, Russia, France, UK, Canada, the United States all agreed to. And then you had Netanyahu come in and try to torpedo it, and AIPAC tried to torpedo that deal. We were on a path to having a denuclear Iran, but what happened is it wasn't in Netanyahu's interest and AIPAC's interest, and they've dragged us into another war in the Middle East. They've hurt American people, and the American people are tired of it. They want people who are going to be Team America. They want people who are going to bring gas prices down here and care about our nation and get us out of these wars, and that's why Obama won. He was against the Iraq war. That's why he was on a path to normalization in terms of getting Iran to be denuclear, and had the whole world on our side. And AIPAC, Netanyahu tore that up.
Relax.
So apparently, yeah, he was cooking there. And, you know, what's interesting is obviously like Fox News boomers are the people who continue to be most supportive of Trump, of the Iran war, most pro-Israel, et cetera. But even with that audience, and that was over on Fox Business, you're going to have some significant number who are listening to Ro and actually agreeing with him over a Democratic congressman over Maria Bartiromo, the, you know, right-wing host there, who is very pro-Trump. And this is a good catch, actually, from Jack Cocciarella. So very shortly after this appearance from Ro Khanna, Trump posted this on Truth Social. Let's put this up on the screen. He says, Israel never talked me into war with Iran. The results of October 7th added to my lifelong opinion that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon did. I watch and read the fake news pundits and polls in total disbelief. 90% of what they say are lies and made up stories. The polls are rigged, much as the 2020 presidential election was rigged. Just like the results in Venezuela, which the media doesn't like talking about, the results in Iran will be amazing. And if Iran's new leaders, regime change, ! Are smart, Iran can have a great and prosperous future. So this looks to me like Ro getting under his skin a little bit, because we all know how closely Trump watches the content there over at Fox News and Fox Business.
Oh, almost certainly. It is interesting, though. I mean, the one thing that really gets me in that Maria Bartiromo clip is her going after him for the war powers resolution, because she's basically advocating for total monarchy. I mean, I think that is one of those where we really should not move past the fact that this is not only we started a war with Iran, we are still in a state of war with a blockade. A blockade is a recognized act of warfare. That's why during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Kennedy was very careful. We are quarantining Cuba. We are not, it's the same thing, but he would not use the word blockade. Trump just comes out and says blockade. That is a straight up act of war that must have been authorized by Congress. And in it, she's going after Ro Khanna, not just for saying that Trump calls the shots. He should have total ability to wage war in whatever way he wants. And look, that's true if the Congress authorizes the war. And they're cowards because they don't want to vote on it right now. And I think he was actually very effective in conveying that message, both on the Israeli control, but also in terms of the war powers resolution, getting her to articulate an insane view, which I don't think any American really would agree with at all, in terms of the ability to unilaterally start a war.
Well, and you actually just triggered a thought in my mind, which is that I saw a report that Schumer is actually planning to push another war powers resolution. And Trump in that interview that he recorded with CNBC was going after Schumer and saying, oh, he wants us to stop and these Democrats are traitorous, et cetera, et cetera. That comes directly out of he does not want to have to deal with more war powers resolution votes because they've been coming very, very close to success. Now, do I think he's going to like abide by what the Congress passes? No, but it creates more issues for him. And he feels that it constrains him because he believes he should have the powers of a king. And apparently Maria Bartiromo agrees with that assessment and thinks he should just be able to do whatever he wants, whatever he wants. Constitution be damned, because it says very clearly in the Constitution what body has the right to declare war, and it is not the President of the United States. One other interesting thing here on the Israel front, which I was very glad to see, we can put D3 up on the screen. So we talked before on the show about how Hungary has elected a new leader after 16 years of Viktor Orban being in place and really doing what he could to rig the system in his favor, taking over the media, rewriting the Constitution, really defenestrating the opposition in all sorts of ways. He actually was defeated, and resoundingly so.
Big lead.
So you've got this new guy in Peter Magyar, and there's a lot of questions about, okay, well, what exactly is his ideology? In a lot of ways, he positioned himself as, sort of similar ideologically to Orban, but without the corruption.
No corruption.
However, this is very different. He says, listen, if Netanyahu visits Hungary, I'm sorry, but we're part of the ICC. We're signatories to, the International Criminal Court. So we have to arrest him if he arrives here in Hungary. So pretty surprising to me, because he previously had said some things that were pretty pro-Israel. But here he says, no, we're going to stand up for international law. He's a wanted war criminal, and we will do our duty as part of the ICC.
Yeah, I think, what's crazy is actually it puts him out of step with some of the other big European powers. So, for example, France had argued that they could never arrest Bibi. Germany said that they could never arrest Bibi. Italy said that they couldn't. But this is little old Hungary is out there being like, oh, yeah, we would arrest him. Sure. And so, I don't know which way to read it. It could be political positioning. Israel is dramatically unpopular around the world, has been now for years. Even in European countries, which are very pro-Israel, at an actual government level, their population has been very against Israel, or much more so than even the U.S. population now for years. So if you were to take it, full step, I think with Hungary, this is like the South Korea example. People like Magyar or in South Korea, especially South Korea, you don't need an opinion on Israel. We're on a different side of the globe, like whatever. And then they get you into a war and you're like, yeah, fuck you, actually. It's one of those where I think that's a very natural.
You're going to help to crash the global economy with massive repercussions for my own people.
You're like, okay.
Now we've got a problem.
Now we have a problem, right? Exactly. Now we have a problem. With Hungary, I have no idea where this came from, except maybe in trying to position himself as, against Orban, in trying to, because if you were to guess, Orban, is lost because of corruption, obviously. People got sick of the government apparatus over the last 16 years. Magyar is still running. In fact, he's saying he's a corrupt sellout for letting more letting more immigrants in, like on a guest worker program. I'm going to shut that down. He kind of portrayed himself as like the cleaner candidate. With that respect, I bet you that the same influence, like of Israeli money or influence in their politics, is probably seen in the same way. Same with Russia. Any of these forces that were seen as controlling or like above the fray in terms of Orban. So that's probably what he's probably trying to convey a message of, I'm my own man and I'm going to act in your own interest, which I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's also very embarrassing to other European countries like France and Germany that are also signatories to the ICC, but have made all these convoluted arguments about why they don't have to arrest Netanyahu if he shows up on their soil. So it's humiliating. Orban had apparently had initiated the process to withdraw Hungary from the ICC altogether. And Magyar is also saying, no, I'm reversing that process. We're going to stay part of the ICC. Netanyahu was planning to visit Hungary in the fall. So this is not just like, completely idle speculation. I guess he's going to have to rethink those plans given this new pronouncement from Magyar. So yeah, pretty interesting. Like I said, very humiliating for other countries, European countries in particular, which posture as being pro-human rights and caring about international law, et cetera. And not only when it comes to Israel, but also when it comes to the U.S. I mean, how many of them had anything to say about our illegal and offensive war against Iran? very, very little, very muted to the extent there was any. There was a little bit from France. Spain is basically the only country that has come out with a full-throated condemnation of, actions from the U.S. here clearly violate international law.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right, let's get to anti-Semitism, shall we?
I hope you had everything concerning Israel, Donald Trump, and the Iran. What do you have to say? Is it true that the Israel tell Donald Trump to go into war with the Iran? Drop your opinion in the comment section. Let's know what you think. For more news, updates like this, don't forget to follow me on this channel by subscribing. Hit the like button and turn on the bell so that when next I publish the next video, you will get notification. See you in the next one. I really appreciate your time for watching my video. Bye for now.